What's up, guys? My name's Owen, and welcome back to the Bent Fender podcast. And in today's episode, I am going to be reviewing the 2022 Monaco Grand Prix. So, starting on the front row was the Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz. But then it started raining. And so they went out for the formation laps. But then the rain started to come down a lot harder. So the FIA decided to red flag the race. And after a 45-minute delay, we got back to racing. So Leclerc leads. And on the formation lap, on like the first lap back racing, Latifi locks up and hits the wall going into the hairpin. After that, the safety car came in. And at the early going, it was extremely hard to pass since everything was still soaking wet. Later on, the racing line started to dry and started to look fine. Then the people who are on the intermediate tires started to pick up speed on the cars who are still on wet tires. But at this moment, Leclerc was still leading. Then on the pit stops, Sainz takes the lead. Then Perez takes the lead. And at this point, Magnussen, he is out of the race. And I don't know what happened to him. I just noticed that he had dropped out of wherever he was at. And it said out by his name. I'm like, what? And Albon got a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision against Hamilton going into one of the turns earlier on in the race. Then Mick Schumacher spins, hits the wall, and loses the back end of his car. That brings out the first safety car and also the second red flag of the race. And Schumacher is the second car out of the race. That also means both Haas cars are out of the race 30 laps into it. And when they flew the red flag, it was to fix the barrier because the barrier got absolutely crushed. Then they did a rolling start, and Ocon got a 5-second time penalty. No, Albon's penalty from before was a track limit violation. That was his. Ocon's was his collision with Hamilton. My bad. After that, the DRS finally got enabled as the track was looking pretty dry, other than the one puddle that was on the front stretch. But other than that, the track looked dry. Alonso and Hamilton had a long battle for 7th, which Alonso was holding up the field from behind Hamilton, since he wanted Ocon his teammate to pass Hamilton. So if Ocon finishes ahead of like Alonso in like 7th, the 5-second time penalty would still put him in the points. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So after that, Albon retired from the race with a mechanical failure, and with the last couple laps, there was a intense battle with Perez, Sainz, Verstappen, and Leclerc, the top 4. They were like nose to tail, less than like a car length away from each other. It was a brilliant race. Amazing defending by Perez, I mean. And Sainz just didn't have enough to pass him. So, at the end of this race, the winner is Perez. Then the rest of the top 10 are Sainz, Verstappen, Leclerc. Russell ends the top 5. Norris in 6th, who got the fastest lap. Then it was Alonso, Hamilton, Bottas, and Sebastian Vettel rounds out the points. So, that race was pretty eventful with the rain delay, the crash, like the one big crash, and the intense battles all over the track and also hard to pass on Monaco. That was a really good race. I'm going to give it like an 8 out of 10. That was a really good race. So, join me in 2 weeks when I review the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So, please remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.